need to see just how easy it is to stop your OAS benefits from senselessly being stripped away from you. There is a way to fight back. And in this video, we will answer your age-old question: how does the OAS clawback work? We will break down everything you need to know about the OAS clawback, how it works, how it's calculated, and share 5 amazing strategies for you, along with one huge bonus strategy that almost no one thinks about, which can save you thousands of dollars in taxes every year. I see this mistake being made all the time, so make sure to watch to the end so that you can help preserve as much of your OAS payments from senselessly being slashed from your retirement. The OAS clawback, how it works, let's get started. When it comes to retirement income, the OAS clawback is something that hits a nerve for many Canadians. And it's easy to see why. After years of paying taxes and contributing to society, you feel entitled to your OAS benefits. You work extremely hard, build net worth, save diligently in your RSPs, contribute to your pensions, only to learn that when your income crosses a certain threshold, the OAS clawback strikes, leaving you feeling blindsided and, for some, outraged. Now, without getting too much into the weeds on whom qualifies for OAS, as I've made a detailed video on the CPP, OAS, and GIS benefits that you can watch after this one, I will just do a quick refresher on OAS, as it will help explain why the OAS clawback exists. In short, your employment history does not matter when it comes to qualifying for OAS. Whether you are still working or never worked a day in your life, you can still be eligible to receive OAS benefits. All that's required is that you be at least 65 years or older, a Canadian citizen or legal resident when your OAS application gets approved, and have lived in Canada for at least 10 years since you turned 18. That's it. Now, there are some things to watch out for if you're living outside of Canada and other nuances, but for the most part, the requirements are similar. And I won't dive into the details in this video. I just want to emphasize that unlike CPP, OAS is not tied to your employment. Understanding this might shed some light on why the government feels justified in reducing your OAS benefits if your income is high. Essentially how it works is, since you didn't directly contribute to OAS like CPP, the government might feel it's fair game to take it away, even though it's likely you did indirectly contribute through your taxes. And the government doesn't even call it the OAS clawback. It's formally named the recovery tax, which I guess sounds a lot better than what most Canadians call it, the OAS clawback. And that being said, OAS typically begins at age 65 and continues until the recipient passes away. Although you do have the option to start later if desired, and we often recommend deferring OAS if you're in good health and want to maximize your benefits. However, while OAS benefits aren't linked to your employment, it is very important to know that it's tied to your income. In simple terms, the more you earn, the less OAS you will receive. And if your income surpasses a certain threshold, you will lose the benefit altogether. Your OAS will be clawed back completely. This is where a lot of Canadians tend to get somewhat irritated. In 2024, OAS provides a maximum monthly payment of $713.34 for individuals aged 65 to 74 and $784.67 per month for those aged 75 and older. Delaying OAS has its perks. For every year you put off taking it, you'll get 7.2% more in your pocket annually, up to a maximum of 36% extra if you wait until age 70. However, it should be noted that there is no incentive to delay past age 70. Let's say that you're eligible for the maximum monthly payment of $713.34 at age 65 in 2024, totaling $8,560.08 annually. But if you hold off for just 5 years until you're 70, your benefits increase. Each month you defer your benefit, it goes up by 0.6%, resulting in a whopping $970.14 per month payment, or $11,641.71 annually, which is an increase of $3,081.63 every year for life, adjusted for inflation. According to the Government of Canada website, if you're 75 years old or older in June of 2022, you'll automatically receive a 10% increase in your old age security pension starting in July of 2023. 2022. If you turn 75 after July 1st, 2022, you'll get the increase in the month following your 75th birthday. More importantly, this 10% increase won't affect the calculation of your guaranteed income supplement, or GIS. Now, what's not explicitly stated, or at least I couldn't find it anywhere on the website, is whether this 10% increase applies to the deferred amount if you were to wait till 70, or it applies to the non-deferred amount. Unfortunately, after some thorough research, I couldn't find a definitive answer on the site. However, as I read it, I interpreted the 10% increase would apply to the deferred amount if you delayed taking OAS until the age of 70, rather than the amount you would receive at age 65. So in short, your $970 monthly payment, without inflation of course, would adjust upwards by 10%, bringing you to a total of $1,067.15. However, if I'm mistaken, please share a link in the comments below and I'll gladly correct it later in a future video. So now we're going to get into the details of how the OAS clawback works with some numbers and some examples. In 2024, the OAS clawback income threshold starts to take effect at income exceeding $90,997 with annual adjustments for inflation. If your global taxable income exceeds this threshold, your OAS benefits will begin to be clawed back. A portion of your OAS payments will be deducted from your monthly checks in the following year. How much? Well, if your income surpasses the OAS clawback threshold, your pension will be reduced by 15% for every dollar you earn over that limit. This means that as your income increases beyond the threshold, more and more and more of your OAS benefits will eventually be clawed back. In 2024, if you're between the ages of 65 and 74 and your annual income exceeds $142,609, your OAS benefits are completely clawed back, meaning that you will not qualify for any OAS benefits. Similarly, if you're 75 years of age or older and your income surpasses $148,179, you will also be disqualified from receiving OAS benefits. So now let's give you an example of how the OAS clawback works with some real numbers. Calculating the OAS clawback is pretty straightforward. For every dollar of worldwide taxable income over $90,997 in 2024, the government deducts 15 cents from your OAS payments. To figure out how much you'll lose, subtract the clawback threshold of $90,997 from your total income, then multiply that amount by 0.15 and divide by 12 to get your monthly reduction. For example, if your income is $100,000, you would subtract the threshold, leaving you with $9,003. Multiply that by 0.15, and that will equal $1,350.45. Then take that number, divide it by 12, which will result in a monthly reduction of $112.54. So your OAS benefits would be reduced annually by $1,350.45 per year, or $112.54 per month. If your maximum payment was $713.34, it would be reduced by that $112 to $600.80 per month. With that said, you don't have to actually calculate these numbers yourself, as the government will handle all of these calculations for you and will send you a letter explaining any OAS clawbacks that you have been subject to. So what income counts towards the OAS clawback? Salaries, dividends, capital gains, pension income, and any withdrawals from your registered plans such as RSPs, RIFs, locked-in plans are all taxable and can potentially trigger an OAS clawback. However, it's really important to note that most gifts, inheritances, life insurance policy payouts, and withdrawals from your tax-free savings accounts do not count as taxable income and will not be impacting you when it comes to an OAS clawback. That's right, so far the TFSA does not count, which is why the tax-free savings account is such an excellent tool for retirement planning, because the withdrawals are not considered taxable income and therefore would not subject you to the OAS clawback. In theory, you could have $3 million in your tax-free savings account and withdraw $150,000 annually, and as of today, you would receive your OAS benefits. Now, the government doesn't include TFSA withdrawals in the clawback calculation, likely because most TFSAs do not have $3 million in them, and they don't generally make enough income to exceed the clawback thresholds. However, as TFSA accounts grow and the potential for generating substantial income increases, it is possible that the government might reconsider this policy and include TFSA income in the clawback calculation. I honestly hope this doesn't happen, but given the trends, it is a potential change to watch out for in the future. So how do you minimize your chances of OAS clawbacks happening to you? Well, number one, delay taking your OAS. If you wait to start receiving your OAS payments, not only do they get larger, but because of inflation, it means the threshold amount of money that you can earn before your OAS is reduced also goes up. And it may mean that the threshold is higher than your income in the future. Number two, realize capital gains before starting your OAS. If you have non-registered investments in stocks that have made some money, consider selling them before you start getting your OAS. The income from capital gains could reduce your OAS payments if you sell during those years. Number three, income split with your spouse or share some of your money with your spouse to lower your taxable income. This could involve contributing to your spouse's retirement savings or splitting your pension. Number four, be smart about withdrawing from registered accounts. Withdrawals from your registered accounts, with the exception of your tax-free savings account, count as income and can reduce your OAS payments. Plan your withdrawals very carefully to minimize this impact. Number five, find ways to lower your taxable income. There are various strategies to lower your taxable income in retirement, such as contributing to your RSPs or writing off interest on loans used for investment purposes. Consulting with an investment advisor or portfolio manager can help you explore these options. Now here's the bonus strategy that I think could help you save a lot of tax if you decide to do this in retirement. Use a holding company or incorporate for extra retirement income. If you have significant investment income in a non-registered account, you can consider placing that in a holding company. This strategy can help reduce your taxes, but it's complex and requires expert advice. You should consult with an investment advisor, portfolio manager, or accountant to ensure this is going to work for you. Now, if you're keen on working for your employer in retirement and you are receiving your pension, you should pay particular attention here, as I often see retirees making this very common mistake. They retire, they start collecting their pension, and then they continue to work part-time or even full-time, thinking that they are making more money, but in reality, most of their extra earnings go to tax. This happens a lot because they have a lot of work experience and their employer wants to keep them on past the retirement date, and the retiree is only happy to make more money. But are they? You see, when you retire and you collect your pension and then you go back to work for your employer, a lot of people call this double dipping. And it means that they're getting their CPP, their OAS, and their pension payments, plus a salary from their same job with their same employer. But here's the issue. Your total income can become so high that you'll wind up in close to the top tax bracket, reducing the benefit of your extra work. For example, if your CPP and your OAS and your pension payments total, say, $70,000 a year, and then you earn another $70,000 from working, your income quickly jumps into a very high tax bracket. As a result, you might find that a significant portion of your additional earnings goes straight to paying taxes, meaning that you're working very hard, but you're keeping very little of that extra income. In an upcoming detailed video, I'm going to dive into the numbers to show just how much tax you could save while also minimizing your OAS clawback. But in short, if you're contemplating working for your employer in retirement and you're already collecting your pension, consider opening up a corporation. By being paid as a consultant to the corporation, you can redirect income away from yourself personally and into the corporation, which is a separate entity. This strategy can potentially lower your tax liability, as both you personally and your corporation will probably benefit from lower tax rates, especially on active business income. Stay tuned for more insights and calculations in the upcoming video. Here's the bottom line. Understanding how the OAS clawback works is vital for securing your retirement benefits. Delaying OAS payments, managing capital gains, and splitting income with your spouse can help minimize clawback impact. Smart withdrawal strategies and reducing taxable income are also key. Plus, consider using a holding company for extra income. Don't let the OAS clawback catch you off guard. Take control of your retirement planning today. Did you know that navigating the uncertainties of the markets and your finances is generally smoother with the guidance of an investment advisor or portfolio manager? Studies have consistently shown that individuals who work with an investment advisor or portfolio manager tend to accumulate a net worth up to 3 times higher on average compared to those that go it alone. But that's not all. There's a significant impact on overall well-being, with those who seek professional advice exhibiting higher levels of happiness and lower anxiety. Do you want to know easy ways of identifying what kind of work plan you have? Or maybe you want to find out more about my latest upload? Well, I've got everything all queued up and ready for you. Click here for more amazing financial insights. I'll be waiting. We'll see you soon.